I think we all know which players really stood out for the young guys on the Seattle Seahawks. What's going on, everybody? Good morning. Made it to Tuesday, and you guys know what we do on Tuesday morning. We take a look at our young players. At this point, it's basically anybody on a rookie contract, and we just see how they're doing, because the young players should be painting the picture of what your team is going to be in the near future, the immediate future. How are we developing young players? Right? That's why we do this every week. Please like this video. Click the thumbs up button down below. Helps the channel out. Sub if you're new. Subscribe. 3 to 5, maybe even 6 Seahawks videos every day. Become a channel member for $2 a month. Click the bell for notifications. Those are the best ways to help out. So let's go ahead and take a look at the young players on this team, starting with the running backs. And, I mean, I don't think either guy's really doing anything all that wrong, right? You got Ken Walker, who's clearly, in terms of his ability, capable of being a top 5 running back in this league. And when there's nothing for him to do, there's nothing for him to do. And this offensive line gives him very little to do sometimes. So he didn't play a particularly great game, but I don't think he played poorly. I don't really think he did anything wrong. He did end up with over 100 yards from scrimmage in this game. He was able to grind that out, which was respectable. And Charbonnet actually had, I think, 33 yards in this game. So they're trying. They're doing what they can. There's not much they can do right now, unfortunately, because this offensive line is that bad. Both players had PFF grades stay roughly in the same place. Still, no love for Kenny, and of course Helani. I think he's hurt now, so we probably won't see him no matter what the rest of the way. I think he went on IR a while back. Okay, that gets us to the fun stuff. JSN, Jackson Smith and Jigba. You guys know what he did, right? You guys know. I don't really need to say it. He caught 2 touchdowns. He had the biggest game of his career, and that's with, like, what, 100 yards of catches, getting called back on penalties on Gerald. So nothing to do with JSN, right? JSN's 40 yards down the field, and Mike Gerald's screwing things up in the backfield, right? So JSN dang near could have had a franchise record, and like I said in yesterday's video, I'm not saying that it erases the drop that turned into a pick in the first quarter, but he did everything he could to erase it, right? He tried to put the team on his back, and it just didn't take. Frustrating, but at least we finally saw him be special, which is what I've been waiting for. We saw something there that is more than just, oh, he's, you know, a good player in this league. No, that was somebody who could be special. I feel like even in that New England game earlier this year, I didn't see it the way I saw it on Sunday. Jake Bobo, this was your chance to prove that you belong in this league at a more highly used extent that you've been used the last year plus. And yeah, nothing. No, he doesn't produce at all offensively. And according to Pro Football Focus, his run blocking hasn't even been that good this year, and it wasn't good in this last game. Now, we know Bobo knows how to run block because we've seen it, and that was like his calling card in college or whatever. But what I'm trying to say is, it's possible the problem is just he's playing too much. But the lesson you need to take away from this is Jake Bobo's a guy you want on the field for like 15 snaps a game at most. So we found out about Bobo. He's got a very low ceiling. It's just, it's in the realm where you can contribute positively to an NFL team, but not by much. And AJ Barner, he had a drop. I know he blew a block. I think it was like in the third quarter. He had a really bad blown block that even Jonathan Vilma called out. But I still don't mind what I see developing here. 4 catches, which is a career high for him, I guess. Right? 27 yards. If it wasn't for Barner getting held at the 5-yard line, by the way, when Geno threw that third pick, very possible that he has another catch and maybe even a touchdown. So, you know, something to think about. So, I like where Barner's going. He's got potential to end up going down as a draft steal, but got to see more. Got to see more. And I think that in the absence of Noah Fant, we did see that while Barner, maybe he doesn't have everything he needs to be a full-time player in the NFL successfully because there were some bad moments, he's not that far away. I'll put it to you that way. Okay, offensive line. I know what I said earlier about JSN being the only real stud here, but honestly, Cross, not far off. He allowed three pressures. 3 penalties would have not been good, and we would have had a big problem there. But 3 pressures, which, again, the way this team is forced to play football, I'm not going to kill a guy like Cross for giving up some occasional pressure, because it's really hard to not allow pressure when the other team knows you're going to have to throw the ball a lot. So I know 26 is a little bit on the higher side compared to other elite left tackles, but it doesn't really bother me. It's not really something that I think is worth being concerned about in this particular situation. Run blocking grade remains very good, and so does his overall grade. Didn't really move after this week. So he's churning it out. Forsyth out, Haynes out, Oluwatimi played 1 snap in the jumbo package, and, well, you tell me what that means on 4 snaps. No, it's okay, I already know the answer is nothing. Doesn't mean anything, really. Anthony Bradford, on the other hand, I'm starting to think this means something, because he finally gets the microphone to himself, and he just farted into it or something, because that was terrible. And the problem with this problem here is that the thing that I thought was going to help him didn't help him at all. So at a certain point, you got to start stripping away those potential excuses. And he's still young, still inexperienced. I'm going to continue to be a little patient with him, but right now it's really bad. 2 more penalties in this game. I think he allowed 4 pressures. Let me make sure I got that right. Yeah, 4. Remember, he's a right guard, so that's pretty gross that your right guard is allowing that many pressures. Run block grade actually went up a little bit. It's still not at the C level. And PFF grade overall is well below C level. It's almost down to a 50. So can't say anything got better. And I am starting to wonder. I mean, Bradford was a 4th round pick. Maybe he's just a career backup. I know he's really talented. That doesn't mean he'll be able to do all the things that he needs to do. So, I don't know. I'm open to a lot of things at this point, but I really want Bradford's talent to pan out because he really is a very talented player. He's got stuff to learn, and right now it doesn't feel like it's taking the way we wanted it to. Mike Jarrell, again, I'm not here to drill the guy. I totally get it, right? He has no business being on an NFL field right now. I mean, 4 penalties, 4 pressures allowed, including, I think it was 2 sacks. Grades went down across the board. Like, it's easy to go after him, but at the end of the day, he shouldn't be out there right now, and he's doing his best. And I really mean that. Right now, this is probably literally the best he can do. Like, this is not a situation where it's a weak effort, and that's why he's picking up these penalties. No, he's picking up the penalties because he legitimately isn't ready for NFL caliber football. All right, swinging over to the defense here. Defensive line, pretty darn dry. Mike Morris and Cam Young don't play. Byron Murphy did actually get credited with, I believe, 6 tackles in this game, though. So he was more active in actually making plays, which that's probably 6 tackles might be a career high for him even going back to college. I'm not sure, but that was not a big part of his game when he was at Texas. That being said, PFF didn't really like his game that much. His grade actually went down this week. They took it down to from a 64 almost. Not much, but they weren't too impressed even though he put up the tackle numbers. Nothing else on defensive line. Linebacker, nothing. None of these guys got to play. Edge rushers, last 2 weeks have been frustrating, getting 0 sacks in back-to-back games. This game was obviously better, and I did think Mafe played well because I think he stepped up in run defense. Both of these new TFLs were in this game. He had 2 tackles for loss in this game. So I do think Mafe played well. Hall, admittedly, didn't really notice his impact as much. He had 1 tackle and I think 1 pressure. And his PFF grade was atrocious. So that's the edge rusher pair, and I know that we're not seeing the monster production out of these two guys that we were dreaming about earlier in the season when they were off to good starts. But I think that there are deeper problems than just what they're doing. I don't think they're really doing anything all that wrong. Of course, they're going to have bad plays every now and then, especially Hall, because this is his second year. But I still think we're headed the right direction there. But we're not headed the right direction on Reggie Woolen, who somehow managed to pick up, let me get the numbers right here. Yeah, a tackle, an interception, and I want to say, yeah, 2 passes defensed in this game, and his grade plummeted, and our confidence in him long-term has gone to very, very low, I think. I don't know what Woolen is right now. I'm confused on this one. And with how poor he is as a tackler and in run support, he cannot be getting roasted in games the way that he got roasted against the Rams. It just can't happen. Or it's really hard to trust him with a big contract over a long term, right? So we're gonna have to try to figure this Woolen puzzle out, because the good is so good it's unbelievable, right? You don't want to lose it, but you also know that there are some other things at play here. Witherspoon did play a pretty good game in my estimation. He gave up some stuff, but given the state of this defense right now, I thought it was a big improvement. And he was great in run support, 7 tackles, no missed. Picked up a couple of PDs, so he did actually make a play on the ball a couple times, which has been sorely lacking this year. PFF grade almost back to 70, so, you know, it's a sophomore slump, right? It's a sophomore slump, but it's not one where he's just completely falling apart. He has bad games. He struggles at moments, but he's still putting together an above-average season for this team. Trey Brown didn't play. Pritchett didn't play. D. Williams didn't play. I still don't have Joby listed here because he's not on a rookie contract. I could consider putting him here, though, because he is a young player and he is somebody who would not be expensive to retain and could be part of the immediate future if we like what we see. I don't know. All right, safety. Coby Bryant, I thought one of our better defenders on Sunday. I thought he played well, didn't do anything wrong, picked up 4 tackles, and I think he had a pass breakup. Let me make sure. Yeah, he had 1 pass breakup. So I think he played well. PFF thought he played pretty well, and maybe this is something that he can do. And I've always said with Coby Bryant, I want to find a way to get that guy on the field because his ability to force tackles is really, force fumbles is special. And I don't want to lose that because he has to be on the bench because I can't figure out where to play him. Maybe we've got it. I don't know. Jarek Reed, by the way, welcome back. Special teams, he had actually, I think, 2 tackles on special teams. Yes, he did. 2 tackles on special teams. So his special teams grade jumped way up to about 63.5 from 50, by the way. Remember, this is only a second game. But that is a very good sign. If Jarek Reed can go back to being a top special teamer on this team, I think that helps. And one thing we can say about that game on Sunday is that in terms of punt coverage and kick coverage, it looked better than in many previous games. So Jarek Reed being back is helping. All right, I'll see you guys later. More videos coming soon. As always, go Hawks. And, yep, see you soon.